One of the more bizarre moments of tonight's game, PJ Washington gets fouled by Giannis Antetokounmpo with 1.2 seconds left. He calmly steps up to the free throw line, knocks down the first one to pull the Mavericks within 2. All of a sudden, you start to hear the words "Fire Nico" from thousands of people inside the American Airlines Center as PJ is attempting to knock down free throws to tie the game. Did Jason Kidd address the "Fire Nico" chants in tonight's post-game press conference?
He did. I mean, he was just asked, what do you think the players are kind of going through on the floor? Like, they're trying to play a basketball game and they're getting Fire Nico chants. And at one point, he kind of deflected and says, I can't go into a player's brain. But he says, I will talk if I was them, or something like that, to kind of phrasing that he said. He said, you kind of just have to lock in. You have to focus. You have to just play a basketball game. But just from the expressions and the mannerisms, I could tell that, that is something that can affect the player. I don't think, that necessarily makes you miss a free throw, makes you miss a shot. But that's just one more added thing to your plate. I don't care if it's 1%. It's 1% too many. You shouldn't have any more added pressure at home. This is not a road game where if you're the road game, you're going to get yelled at, you're going to get screamed at, you kind of go in with the expectation. At your own arena, from your own fans, that can just be a lot, even if it's only, minuscule. I'm not blaming the fans for doing it. The fans are mad. They can show that they're mad. I'm just saying that from my perspective, from looking in, that is some added pressure on some of these players.
And that's what it sounded like through the television. I mean, it just, again, it's just, that's the only way I can think of it.
It was bizarre. Multiple times tonight.
Yeah, there was multiple Fire Nico chants as the game went on. And yes, PJ Washington mentioned it, last season when it happened. He was not thrilled about it, to say the least. So I do wonder what he would have to say about it as he's trying to knock down free throws. What else did you take away from what Jason Kidd had to say?
Well, not even necessarily what Kidd said, but one of the biggest takeaways I've had was that Patrick Dumont was in the building. To my knowledge, I think this is only his second game in person of the season. I think that's very noteworthy in person. I know he was at the season opener, and now he's here. If he was at another game, I'm sorry, but this is from what I've talked to people about. It's like this is the second game of the season. He's in the building. I catch, a young fan who I thought was a Lakers fan talking to Patrick Dumont in a Lakers jersey. It finds out the kid's actually, a Mavericks fan, goes to SMU, went to St. Mark's High School in Dallas, is a huge Dallas Mavericks fan, but this was a huge Luka guy. He says, that I guess he's wore that jersey now. He's seen them now these 2 times in the season opener and now this game. And I guess because he flipped Dumont off in the first game, his dad made him apologize. They kind of built I wouldn't say a strong relationship, but now, he knows his face. And he wore the same jersey again. So this time he went up to Dumont and they just talked very casually about basketball. And he said Dumont did not say anything about the jersey. He said the first time he grinned at the jersey. So I just think with everything, with all of our reporting from our reporter Mark Stein from this week, that I'm pretty sure he'll talk about on the show, for Dumont to be in the building again, and then for basically him to be around all these different people, and then from even somebody with a Lakers jersey kind of walk up to him, it just that the energy just felt kind of off all night in the arena. I mean, I know, Kevin, you were there for the early parts. The early game, it felt dead. I mean, there was no screaming. It took kind of 2 Klay Thompson threes to even get kind of the arena to feel like to wake up. It was a very dead arena from all the home games, even against the Pacers. The arena was more live, everybody, for Pascal Siakam and the Indiana Pacers when they came to town. So it just shows you kind of where this fan base is. And I just felt like that was one of the biggest takeaways from tonight, is that the energy just felt kind of very different.
It did. The pregame intros were very subdued. The first 5-6 minutes of the game, the Mavs maniacs were louder than the fans inside of the building. Like, you could hear them. We sit on the opposite side of where the Mavs maniacs are. You could hear them.
They do have those big old cone things.
They weren't even using those.
Oh, wow.
You could hear their voices clear as day from the other side of the arena. That's how muted it was as far as, the fans were concerned. As you mentioned, it took a couple of Klay Thompson 3-pointers. By the way, those are the only 2 3-pointers that he made in the game, for him to be able to kind of inject some life into the crowd. And yes, and you look in the upper bowl, there was quite a few empty seats. in the upper bowl as well. So
Well, okay, what gets fans making noise? Like made shots.
made shots, yeah.
Made shots. Tonight,
They did not make shots.
here's
early.
their shooting percentages at home this season. Tonight, 41.6%. Go back to the Pelicans game, 41.6%. Pacers, 45. Thunder, 38. Raptors, 58. That was a win. That was a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
I was at a wedding for that
Nasty
one.
ball.
My plus minus remains just
Oh,
mystifying.
man, you're back and they lost.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wizards,
goodness
43.
gracious. Corporate Bobby.
Wizards, 43%. Spurs, 37%. They're shooting like crap at home, man.
Yeah,
Like,
they're shooting awful.
Like the unfortunate reality of Mavs fans and really of Dallas sports fans in general is that the team has to give the fans something to cheer for.
Yeah.
Like you go to some gyms, it is loud. It is louder in their pregame than it is in a Mavs fourth quarter. Like it's the fact. Now in the playoffs, AAC will turn the heck up. They will get super loud. But for a normal regular season game, pretty subdued crowd unless the team is playing super well, and they're just not. They're not making shots, and they're falling behind by 10. So, like, all right, when am I supposed to cheer,
They got to make shots. And besides Flag tonight, like, fans scream whenever Cooper Flag is anything. So he's clearly a fan favorite. But the fans, I think, do want Klay Thompson to make shots. When usually he makes
They
shots
do.
in threes. Threes are very fun, everybody. Like a dunk is probably the most fun play to watch as a fan in basketball. So you're going to be very happy for dunk plays. But Daniel Gafford, we know, can barely get off the ground because he has an injury. He's gutting through an injury to play for this team. And Derek Lively, who would dunk, is not on the court. Anthony Davis, who will get a dollar dunks, is not on the court. Klay Thompson, who's your best three-point shooter, as Kevin just said, he made 2 threes. Then it's almost like he didn't play. Like so a lot of those, I would call those splash plays, dunks, 3-point shots, crossovers, all those kind of moments. The Mavs are lacking a lot of splash plays, Bobby, and fans want to cheer for the Sports Center highlighty, clipped up kind of things. The Mavs are barely giving the Clippers even something to clip.
But they also want to cheer for a team that they love. They just don't.
They're not.
It's hard to love the team right now. It's hard to love something that you feel like doesn't love you back. And I think that is the root of this existential crisis that people like Classic Staying Lover and so many other Mavs fans are feeling.